a very, very potent drug, say 80 times more potent than morphine.
Tonight at 11, a toxic laced heroin mix sweeping Connecticut streets, making an already hazardous drug much more dangerous. Good evening. The dirty heroin has already claimed dozens of lives across the Northeast and is beginning to take its toll in Connecticut.
Last week, a 14-year-old student from East Windsor died from an overdose of the toxic mix. Fox Connecticut's Bo Berman joins us now from the newsroom with a warning from police. Bo.
Brent, Allison, police in East Windsor tell us at least 3 of the 7 overdose deaths they've investigated since November were caused by the heroin fentanyl mix and could be responsible for another 4 deaths. A batch of laced heroin sweeping the Northeast and leading to a rash of deaths in Connecticut has prompted Hartford police to meet with the DEA.
East Windsor had 4 since the beginning of the year, 4 overdose deaths, which is, unheard of in a town like that.
The heroin is laced with something called fentanyl, and some of it is being found in wrappers like this that say New World. It's something Deputy Chief Brian Foley warns heroin users to watch out for.
Problem is, it's a very, very potent drug, say 80 times more potent than morphine. When the buyer buys the heroin from a dealer and they don't know it's that potent, it becomes very dangerous, and hence the overdoses.
The fentanyl-laced heroin has been spotted from Vermont to Pittsburgh recently, across the Northeast. East Windsor police told Connecticut's newsroom they investigate every overdose, but the February 15th death of a 14-year-old girl added urgency. So far, East Windsor's noted at least 4 fentanyl-related overdoses. Hartford Hospital medical toxicologist Dr. Kelly Johnson Arbor says many cases are actually underreported by hospitals and patients. She cautioned that fentanyl works so fast, victims are often found with the needle they use to inject the heroin still in their arm.
Whereas we can generally revive them very quickly with certain medications and antidotes that we give, with the fentanyl, it doesn't really work that quickly or that well.
The Hartford Police Department is now working with the DEA and the medical examiner's office to determine just how many deaths the drug has caused here in Connecticut.
Fentanyl is a narcotic that's much, much, much more powerful than regular heroin, regular morphine.
Connecticut's newsroom has been told that heroin has become increasingly common as government officials have worked to restrict access to prescription narcotics like Percocet and Vicodin. Bo Berman, Fox, Connecticut.
And thank you, Bo. No doubt the problem crosses state borders. There have been nearly 300 heroin deaths across the region since September. More than half of them from Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Rhode Island also report a spike in deaths. The heroin-fentanyl mix was confirmed present in many of them. Statistics are not available for Connecticut yet.
From state rep to state senator-elect, tonight Gary Holder Winfield won Connecticut's 10th District Senate seat in a special election. The district covers portions of New Haven and West Haven. Tony Harp gave up the seat last month when she became mayor of New Haven. Holder Winfield ran against Republican Stephen Mullins, campaigning for education and criminal justice reforms. In November, Holder Winfield will have to run again if he wants a full term in the state Senate. The New Haven Democrat is currently a state representative. There will now be a special election for his state House seat. It's back. After almost a whole week without snow, our luck has run out.
Yeah, tomorrow the flakes will fly, and it's not the only day we will see them this week. Rachel Frank joins us now from the Weather Center.
Brent, thank you for taking some of the heat off the messenger here. Yeah, he's right. We have the chance for snow showers or flurries every day in the forecast except for Friday through the end of the week. That's what I'm trying to say here. And, most of it's going to be nuisance variety stuff, but still, you're going to have to contend with it as you're out and about. Let's talk about temperatures, though. Tonight, we are quiet temperatures in the teens for Torrington, for Norfolk. Right now, low 20s in Hartford, mid 20s for the Connecticut shoreline. And as we head through the evening tonight, inland areas will drop back into the lower to mid teens, and for the shoreline, dropping back into the upper teens. You'll notice by 11 a.m. temperatures are in the upper 20s, and that's about as high as we'll get tomorrow with some snow showers. There could even be a dusting or coating in spots. We'll talk about it and the other chances for snow in the forecast too in just a bit.
Outrage in Sterling tonight. Dozens of parents voicing their concerns at a Board of Ed meeting after a 5-year-old was picked up from school by the wrong person.
Yeah, some parents say they understand mistakes can happen, but the way the school handled it is what concerns them. Fox Connecticut's Louisa Moeller joins us live outside Sterling Community School now. Louisa.
Well, Brent, Allison, some of the parents who were here tonight were pretty furious about this. They want to know why the school didn't call the police on Friday when this all went down, and they want to know why the school told the man who mistakenly took this 5-year-old to drive him back here. That little boy's mother was also here to speak passionately today.
We did contact Troop D.
He's a nice guy. Bring it. I'm sorry. I did not contact Troop D. I did.
No, I
did.
At what time? When?
No, I should be allowed to finish.
Sterling Superintendent Raina Klebart fought a firestorm of criticism from parents desperate for answers, including Angela Stone.
I said I was concerned and I needed an investigation.
Why didn't you call me? As a mother, Mrs. Klebart, as a mother.
At a special Board of Education meeting Tuesday night, Stone dramatically detailed Friday's incident when her 5-year-old son was taken to the wrong home from school by an elderly man who supposedly mistook him for his grandson.
At this point, our son refuses to get out of the car and keeps repeating, I want to go home.
Stone says the man finally realized that her son was not his grandson when he arrived home. And that's when administrators asked the elderly man to drive her son back to school.
My husband and I feel that at this point, the police needed to be notified.
But police were not notified until Sunday, a fact which sparked more outrage from other parents.
I can't even fathom why the police were not called the second this phone call came in, and why no one went and picked this boy up.
Klebart admitted fault.
I have already acknowledged that looking at the circumstances, that call should have been made.
A discussion started about new pickup policies, including signing children out with staff, presenting ID, and calling one bus at a time. But it did not seem enough to calm some in the audience.
What is unacceptable is that you were told by numerous people on numerous occasions that the gate was left open.
Now, there is a police investigation underway. The Stone family has also contacted DCF, and the Board of Ed this evening said they are going to contact the state police to evaluate their safety policies. It should also be noted that that elderly man who was involved in all of this, well, no one spoke for him here this evening, and it did not appear that he or his family were at the meeting. We're live here in Sterling. Louisa Moeller, Fox, Connecticut.
All right, Louisa, thank you. A cop from Trumbull on the wrong side of the law tonight.
Officer William Rusko is accused of using his badge to sexually assault teen cadets enrolled in the police Explorers program, where he was a drill instructor. Rusko was a patrol officer in town for almost 20 years. According to his arrest warrant, the 15 and 17-year-old victims say that Rusko sent them sexually explicit messages and pictures over the course of several months. One victim says Rusko took her to a vacant home and sexually assaulted her, using his handcuffs to restrain her. In addition to nude pictures, Rusko also allegedly sent one of the girls explicit pictures of his wife. He's due in court next week on multiple sexual assault charges, as well as tampering with a witness. He's been suspended with pay.
An IT specialist for the Farmington School District is out of a job and facing criminal charges tonight for attempting to have sex with a cow on a farm in Herkimer, New York. Cops say Reed Fontaine attempted the act while Michael Jones from New York took video of the episode. The pair was busted after a farmer set up a video camera in his barn to figure out why his cows were acting anxious. Fontaine resigned from his job on Sunday. The superintendent of Farmington Schools tells us Fontaine did not have direct contact with students during his 6 months of employment and passed a background check when he was hired.
Former NFLer Aaron Hernandez could be in more trouble. TMZ Sports reports that he was involved in a brawl at the Massachusetts Bristol County Jail today. Hernandez is typically separated from the general population, but he was allowed to take a walk in an isolated hallway when he allegedly attacked another inmate. The other man had reportedly been harassing Hernandez all day. The former Patriots tight end has been locked up since last summer, accused of orchestrating Odin Lloyd's murder. Hernandez has also been linked to a double murder in Boston 2 years ago, but he has not been charged. The Massachusetts DCF under fire tonight for losing track of a 5-year-old boy whose father lives in New Britain.
Jeremiah Oliver has been missing from Massachusetts since December and is presumed dead. His mom and her boyfriend are locked up on child endangerment and abuse charges. Massachusetts lawmakers call the boy's disappearance a tragedy and say the blame should fall on DCF.
The social workers and the supervisors didn't do their job, and they didn't see this boy for months at a time until he was missing. And right now, we don't know what happened to Jeremiah Oliver.
Jeremiah's social worker was fired for failing to conduct routine visits. Her supervisor was also let go for filing false statements indicating visits were being made. Meantime, Governor Deval Patrick has hired the Child Welfare League of America to review the DCF. The results of the audit will be released in the next few weeks.
Selling guns on social media, the brazen new trend, and what one local group is doing to try to stop it.
And some positive news when it comes to the state's crime rate, what the governor credits for the downward trend.
Our classrooms should be healthy places where kids are not bombarded with ads for junk food.
A healthy overhaul from the lunch lines to high school hallways and scoreboards, the latest way the First Lady's fighting obesity. You're watching the Fox Connecticut News at 11.